All right, good morning, fellow gardeners. This is Kathy, the neighborhood gardener. Today we are coming indoors. A little hot outside, so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite indoor plants, and they are in the prayer plant family, which would be your Calatheas, your Marantas, Stromanthes, Tenanthes, any of those type of plants. And if you have those, you know how beautiful they are. They kind of got the name prayer plant due to the fact that they have these long, beautiful leaves. The foliage on these are just beautiful. The coloring, the patterns, beautiful. But what happens is during the day, their leaves are all unfolded and open, and at night, their leaves go up like that, like they're praying. It's really pretty cool. So that's how they got the name prayer plant. So they're pretty easy plants to take care of. I think once you get to know them, they're a little on the fussy side at first. So a few things that you need to know when you're going to get any of these type of plants. We're going to talk about the lighting, the watering needs, and also how you can propagate off of these. So I'm going to show you just some areas in my house where I have them spread out and how they live. So let's go take a quick look at where I have these kind of sprinkled out throughout my house. So come on, let's go. Okay, so right here in my living room, what I have is a small little table with just a few of these prayer plants on there. And I want to kind of get a little closer so you can just see the beautiful patterns and colors on some of these. This is called a rattlesnake Calathea, lancifolia, and look at the shading of the leaves on here. I think the pattern is just absolutely beautiful. I love the coloring on these. And then right behind it, I have another Calathea. This is called a white fusion Calathea, one of my favorites. Anything that has white leaves on it, I just love that. So look at the coloring on these leaves and just how they contrast with the other leaves on this plant. But look at the patterns. Cool, cool plant. Right next to that, I have a lemon lime Maranta, and let me show you the coloring on these leaves. Look at that. Look at the pattern. It just is such a detail right down to the veining on that. I just think that is just one of the most gorgeous plants that I have. I just love that. This is in my living room, and again, it is a lower light situation. I do keep my overhead lights on during the day just so they do get some light. They are low light plants, but low light does not mean no light. The way you can judge that is if you are in a room and if you can read a book without turning on a lamp or an overhead light, that is considered low light. So keep that in mind when you are going to be placing your prayer plants around your house. So let's go on to another room where I have a couple of these. Okay, and you can see here, this is my kitchen. I do not have any overhead lighting on in here. I do have a window right next to this table of plants that faces east. So it does give some light in here, and I just have a rattlesnake Calathea right here, and it seems to do really well. These cannot take direct lighting, so if you find that your plants are not doing well, if they're too close to a window, just pull them back. And right over here, I do have a cutting from a Maranta plant that I want to propagate. So I just have them here in the water, and you can kind of see it's rooting out really nicely. So again, these are getting some low light, nothing direct, and that is in my kitchen area. So just a quick look at that. I think that's the only Calathea or prayer plant family that I have over here. Now let's go into this other area of my kitchen here, and I do have rattlesnake Calathea right here as well. So this just does beautiful during the daylight because I do get that east facing sun in here, and it brightens up this room really well. Right now I have no overhead lighting on, and it does just really nicely. Look at how beautiful. Nice and healthy, full prayer plant, and I just keep that right on top of my stove and does really well. And that is it for the kitchen prayer plant family. Just have that sprinkled over with some other plants in there, but anyway, that's the kitchen area. Going into my office spare room here. I do have a Calathea right here. I don't know the name of this Calathea, but it sits right here. This window right there, that is an east facing window, but it does get like filter light because as you can see, I've got a pretty good size Buddha belly bamboo plant out there that kind of filters that light that it gets, but it's doing really nice in here. And when I bought it, it did not have the type of Calathea on there, but it is just also beautiful. Look at the pattern on this leaf. Beautiful. And again, this is in a low light situation and it does really well in here. So it has lived and I'm happy with that. Over there is just a polka dot begonia. Seems to do really well. And you can kind of see the lighting in this room is not very bright at all. But again, if I opened up a book in here, I could read it without any problems. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my tips for growing the prayer plant family. I hope you got a little something out of that. Let me just do a quick recap as far as the lighting goes. Remember, they like low, they can tolerate medium light, just no direct sunlight. As far as the watering goes, do not use tap water, use rainwater, filtered water, or distilled water. Keep your plants moist. They do not like to dry out. The leaves will tell you that. You'll start to see them getting brown, and so just pay attention to that. Once you find the right placement for them, you can just really tell how well these plants are doing. So you may have to move them around a little bit. Remember, we talked about they're a little bit on the fussy side sometimes until you get to know their needs. Let's see, fertilization. I don't think I talked about fertilization. I will use a fish emulsion, but very, very diluted. And I might only do that once a month. Sometimes I'm a little bad about staying on top of the fertilizing my plants, but I do the best I can. But dilute the fish emulsion, like maybe a quarter of a capful in a gallon size watering can, and just go sparingly with that. They do not need a lot of fertilization, so just that's how I do my fertilization on these plants. So I think that pretty much covers it. We talked about the lighting, the watering, the fertilization, the propagation on the Marantas. Those are the only ones that you can really water propagate. You cannot water propagate off of the Calatheas. Those have to be root divided. We didn't go into that. That might be another video somewhere down the line. But so don't bother wasting your time with that or damaging your plant. Those are only done by root division if you want to propagate those. So anyway, that's it for my tips and tricks. So if you have any, please share those with me. I enjoy learning from other people as well. And I hope you're all doing well out there. I appreciate you watching this and coming along with me. I hope it helped you in some way or just inspired you. So you all take care out there, and thanks again for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe if you did. So thanks again, take care, and we'll see you in another video. Thank you.